Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is MiniaTrueNet, and welcome to Nantucket, which is basically Moby Dick, the strategy game. So you get big, beautiful wooden ships, you get dice rolling, and you get sea shanties. And that broadly is everything I've ever wanted out of a game. So first things first, we need to create a character. There's a tutorial, as you can see down there. We're going to skip that. I already played that just to get to grips with the basic. Basically, you sign on with this bloke called Ahab, and he wants to go and catch a giant dolphin called Richard Moby or something. I forget. Generally, it doesn't end well, so we're just going to skip forward to after the disaster and me having my own ship. So I'm going to be Captain John, and then you just have to pick what sort of captain you want to be. The sort of captain who does more hunting, or sailing, or science, or crafting. Go on then, I'll be a hunter, as we're actually hunting whales. That seems like a useful sort of thing to be. So that's my one skill point so far. I also have a trait, however, for, hang on. Go on then, I'll have smart, plus one skill point for attribute, so I can actually be not just good at hunting, I can also be good at sailing. Marvellous, let's go. And here we are, it's January 1820, and apparently we're in Nantucket, which is a place in America, on the east coast somewhere, I'm not 100% sure. Don't even know if it exists today, maybe it does. And we don't have an amazing ship, to be honest. Let's just go over to our ship. So, I start off in the Melville, which is a rotten sloop. Now, I could buy myself a much better, or at least much bigger ship. It's still a bit rotten, but it's got a better name, and it's a clipper, which is presumably better than a sloop. Except we've got two problems. One, I don't really have enough money to buy a new ship, and two, I don't really have the technology either, because I need to, like, know how to use sails well enough before I can actually captain this ship. Otherwise, I'd just, like, I don't know, crash it while trying to reverse out of the harbour or whatever. Instead, we start off with level 1 hammocks, level 1 storage, level 1 harpoons, and a level 1 quarterdeck, which I'm guessing is where, like, the steering wheel and, like, the accelerator and the brake and whatever you get on a ship is. So probably not a bad starting point would be a bit more cargo space. So in 90 days, and with $200 invested, I start off with 1,000, I could have a bit more cargo space. Probably a good idea. So that's underway, but it won't be done until the end of March. So we don't want to hang around in port for 90 days. We're just going to basically have to make do and get on with our job while that's happening. And I've already spent $200 there. Let's go over to the man who's actually selling the Sailor's Post. Marvellous. King George IV, new king of UK, Great Britain, Northern Ireland. Oh, I bet he's going to do well. But we're not interested in that, we want the jobs page, because the jobs page is where you get your quests from. We might find some more as we're going out and about, but you start off with a few quests you can just basically pull out of the newspaper. So, discover a new whaling area. Various ships have reported presence of a large quantities of whales in Baffin Bay. Could be a new hunting area, worth $200 if I actually complete this, because, like, people will pay me to tell them where the whales are, and obviously I can go actually kill some whales and get some, like, blubber and oil and whale meat and whatever else comes out of whales, to be honest. Like, their bones and teeth might be worth something, I'm not sure. We'll accept that quest anyway. And that is 16 days away. Secondary quest, unveil the Georgia's destiny. The Georgia was declared lost days ago. Her destiny is shrouded in mystery. She was travelling from Nantucket to Imbituba. She never reached her destination. Explore the route she took, locate the ship and her crew. That will get us a bit more prestige as a captain and even more money. So go on, let's actually accept that too. That one, of course, we're not sure how far we're going because we don't know where she is. So she's between 1 and 38 days away. Fine. So we've taken those two jobs, that'll do us for now. So here in the tavern is where we get our crew. Right now our ship's pretty small, so we've only actually got space for 3 guys on our ship, or 4 guys, but I count as a guy, so that's fine. My prestige right now is only 4, because literally I've just rolled into town, no one knows who I am yet. So my crew's prestige needs to not be more than a total of 4. Everyone is free to earn. Better crew members just take up more prestige, and then also demand a bigger cut of the job when it's done. So this guy down here, or well, I suppose this guy, even though he's called Jess, this person wants 10% of the entire take when they actually get back to port. So that's quite a flipping lot. And also, yeah, unfortunately, we can't hire this person because they would require a prestige of 10. We can't afford that anyway, and also we need to hire, like other people. So probably we need to go for someone a little bit on the worse side. So Dewey and Adolf over... Probably never hire anyone called Adolf, to be honest. Dewey. We'll hire Dewey because I need someone who's good at, like, stabbing whales and whatever. So we're going to hire that person. That's one of my 4 prestige points used. Next, we could probably also do with a sailor over here. Marshall, that's a good name. Sailors, of course, are very good at actually, like, driving the ship and whatever. What are your traits, by the way? Old Sea Dog, plus 50% hit points regained during navigation. That's not bad. Hang on, what was Dewey like? Dewey had literally no traits. Marvellous. Old Sea Dog seems like a decent trait, and you seem pretty actually cheap to recruit. So go on, we'll have Marshall as well. The one at the end's a scientist. We can probably do without scientists just for now. Instead, yes, we could probably do with a craftsman, so we can, like, you know, repair the ship while we're out and about. Now, Grover is the only one we can actually hire here. He's got a negative trait. Xenophobic, -2 morale with any crew member of a different nationality. That's fine. Right now, everyone's American, so you'll do for the time being. So, welcome aboard, Grover. Marvellous. That there is a full crew contingent. And these guys, yeah, he wants 3%, he wants 2%, he wants 2%. Fine. So right now, my crew doesn't need paying very much. When I actually get out onto the sea, I'll be able to keep like 90% of what we actually bring back to port. Lovely. There's also cabin boys over here, by the way. They start off with no skills whatsoever, and they all start off at level 0, so they're incredibly cheap to actually hire. Yeah, lay 1%, basically no hit points and whatever. But they can basically evolve into whatever you actually want to make them into. So if you can find like a cabin boy with the right set of traits, like this person is open-minded and also strong, potentially he could, if you just have the time to invest in him, become a really good harpoonist, or whatever the word is for someone who uses harpoons. Anyway, that's probably good enough. Next, we're also going to be needing some supplies, because we're going out into, like, you know, the sea. Now remember, we were going to be away for about 2 weeks to go up to Baffin Bay to find some whales, and potentially a lot longer than that if I decided I wanted to go and figure out what happened to the Georgia. So if we buy some actual water, it will tell you how long that's going to last. Luckily, we don't need that much supplies because my crew's very small. So a massive barrel of water will actually last quite a bit of time. So go on then, let's get 5 barrels of water for plenty of that, because we're always going to need water. And bear in mind, leave space in your hold, because you're going to be wanting to, after, like, you know, kill a whale, actually bring some of it back with you. So you need empty space. And also, food's a bit expensive. We're eating into my supplies pretty quickly here. It's 51 days worth of food, 63 in water. Grog is also required, because otherwise your sailors will be miserable. Go on then, I'll actually buy 2 grog. We may as well have a bit of extra grog going on there. And wood, which you need to actually do repairs of. Wood, again, not taking up a huge amount of space. Apparently that's plenty of wood there. But probably worth taking a bit of an extra wood just in case we run into trouble. That's all fine. So we're just going to buy all of that. So we've now got supplies, we've got a crew, we've got some missions. Time to sail away. So Imbitaba apparently turns out to be, yeah, way down there. So if we want to follow that route, that is indeed quite a long way off. Let's not start with that. So let's go out over here to, apparently this is where Baffin Bay is, and we'll go and find ourselves a flipping whale. So 14 days to go, and this bit I just flipping love, by the way. We get little events where we have to start making choices and dice rolls and whatever. So your lookout spots a ship in trouble in the distance. Approaching the ship, it looks like the one you were looking for. Really, does it? Oh, well, that would be remarkably lucky, given I was going in completely the wrong direction. Good, good. And it's rapidly sinking. Water floods in from a big hole in the hull. So, I could board the ship and save as many valuable goods as I can. So 50% nothing's found on the ship. 40% I will gain $300. 10% a random crew member will die. Okay, board the ship. 40% nothing's found. 40% might find some random barrels of stuff. Random crew member dies 20%. Let's explore the surrounding waters for survivors. Nothing and potentially +1 prestige, so I can actually hire better crew. Or they were hit by something. I do not want to know what it was. Sail away! No risk of losing a crew member, but you lose prestige for being a great big damn coward. So, do I want random barrels? Or do I want... You know, only 10% chance of a crew member dying. I'll take this one. They were probably hit by something and abandoned the ship in a hurry. We found some money in the captain's cabin. Nice. Let's just also pause for just a second here. Pause time, because I haven't actually bothered going into the ship. I just need to check my crew are actually... Yes, good. My crew have managed to... Okay, seriously. Seriously, do you think maybe, just maybe, the, like, you know, sailor should be handling the sailing? Yeah, basically, these are your crew members. Just hover over them. It'll tell you which one's which. You can also tell by the colour and by the level. So, yeah, I'm going to have my own captain is just basically chilling out inside the forecastle. And my harpoonist is just keeping on the barrels. My sailor's the one who's actually sailing, which he probably should be, because he gets bonuses to sailing speed. So that's rather nice. And my craftsman's up in the lookout because there's nowhere else for him to go, to be honest. Yep, unveil the George's destiny. I just happened to stumble across it literally as I came out of port. Well, that's very, very fortunate indeed, because my plan was to basically sail to South America after them, so That's extra money and fame and prestige and whatever. Right, on our way over to the whaling now. So now we just carry on our way. 10 days to go. Fin ahoy! Okay, possibly that was supposed to be like, you know, the lookout. Your lookout yells as he spots a fin in the distance. Could be a precious whale. So, this is basically a random, you know, walking through long grass but at sea. Well, actually, you could just be sailing on water. You always did run into Pokemon on water too. Basically, we've stumbled across a whale and we can decide to have a fight against the whale if that's what we want to do. Or just don't bother. No, let's actually lead a hunt myself because I'm actually the one who's good at stabbing. Me and my hunt together should be able to handle this. So, let's get into a fight. So, prepare for the hunt. Creature encounter! So, first things first, need to start deploying. Obviously, I'm going into here, as is Dewey, and as is... Hang on, who's got more health? Marshall's got slightly more health than Grover, so I'll send Marshall down here. And I have run into a newborn whale. Beautiful. He's only got 3 hit points. That seems pretty darn good. Now, time to roll my dice. Obviously, my harpoonist only has 1 dice. He's got his harpooning dice, so he's just going to roll that. So he's got a 50-50 shot of actually rolling some nice harpooning stuff. And, yeah, any actual harpooning hit will be minus 7 hit points. This world's only got 3. That all works for me. How much damage is done is a bit kind of hidden in the back end, but it's kind of a function of how good is your person at harpooning, how much have you upgraded your harpoons, etc, etc. So he's got a 50-50 shot. John, however, has a harpooning dice and also a sailing dice because I took a perk in harpooning and in sailing. So I can choose which dice I actually want to use. Probably I want to just stick with my basic harpooning dice because we're doing some harpooning right now. And Sailor has a secondary dice, but because he's not actually, you know, primarily a harpoonist, he's only got a 2 in 6 chance of actually landing a hit. So I'll just keep him on his main dice, so if need be, I could do some form of, like, big protective maneuver so I don't take much damage from the whale. Let's just roll the dice here, and we have got potentially a protective maneuver or a strike. So I could make one character immune from damage if that's what I wanted to do, but let's instead focus for the time being on harpooning the whale. So, we do 7 hit points to that. The whale has been killed because it was just a little baby newborn. The waters cease churning and return to normal. Cries of victory, etc, etc. Marvellous. And everyone who went along gets some XP. Beautiful. We also get to loot, which is, yeah, we've got ourselves 2 blubber. I assume blubber, yeah, raw fat from whales, earn money from going to a city, and can transform it into oil to get more money using the Try-Works room. That may be a slightly odd translation, or possibly that's an actual thing in whale hunting. And obviously we can also eat a bit of the whale too, so go on, we'll take some food off it as well. So that blubber is a $50 value. This has been a good trip so far. Continue going on. We now know that there was... Oh, it was quite cute. Oh, I feel bad we murdered it now. Right, continue going. Oh, we need to sing a nice sea shanty now.
Heave away, all the way.
I wasn't joking, the sea shanties in this game. I love a game with a nice sea shanty.
And we're bound for South Australia.
No, we're going to Greenland. We discussed this before we left Nantucket. You're all bloody useless. Right, let's lower the whaleboat and check the area. I suspect we might have a bit of a harder fight on our hands this time. No, actually, we've been lucky. We've got another little basic baby newborn. This is our first little trip out into the ocean. It's not too surprising. Everything's nice and simple for the time being. Also, we have a random combat condition, adverse wind, crew member damage minus 20%, but if we get a single harpoon hit in, we should be all right. So roll those dice. Yes, indeed. So rather than minus 7, this time it's just minus 6. I think I'll let Dewey get the strike in on this occasion. Get the strike in. Beautiful. The whale is dead. The day is ours. We'll probably help ourselves to a bit more blubber and whatnot too, to go with just some more XP. I'll take, yep, extra blubber. So now we're up to $100 worth of blubber present, to go with a tiny bit more food as well. We can eat some of that delicious, delicious whale. And with that done, I think we should be in good shape here. So, you check the reported area and confirm the presence of whales in Baffin Bay. Return to Nantucket to get your reward. Marvellous. So we've done both of the little kind of starting quests here. Let's get back to port and actually spend our money on something a bit more useful. So it'll be another 14 days until we get back there, and if you'd all like to sing a song about South Australia, that'd be beautiful.
Safe and sound at home again. Let the waters roar, Jack.
No, they want to sing a different song on this occasion, and we've also run into something else on the way. Today is one of your men's birthdays, and his shipmates would like to organise something for him. They ask permission to throw a party in his honour, and that you join them in celebration. Okay, let's see what we've got here. So take some grog, so crew +5 morale, ship grog -1, and John gets the sociable trait, but I don't know what that actually means, but it looks good because it's in green. Alternatively, I can simply revel with them. I don't need to sacrifice the grog. In fact, yeah, I feel like I really should do that. Oh no, there's a 0% chance that the crew gain the morale because, unfortunately, I'm not good enough at partying. But I would get the traits. Actually, no, I think that's in the 0%. I think it would just be morale, but without the trait. Fine, you can have your celebration, I must decline the invitation. There'll be no debauchery on this ship, but I would get the moderate trait. Oh, go on then, let's actually sacrifice the grog to make sure I get sociable. Huzzah! So I've picked up sociable trait, whatever that means exactly. Ah, this'll do. +5 to crew morale under all circumstances. That's probably worth sacrificing some grog for. Though admittedly, I think we just drank a lot of grog. I think we only had like 3 crates of grog in the entire ship. And we've just drunk one of them in a single night. You guys must be plastered right now. And as there is more singing, yes indeed, it looks like the amount of time it's going to take us to get home has just gone up slightly because the wind has changed a little bit. There she blows! We've got a new whale. Go on then, we've been going well with that so far. We've got plenty of space in the boat, so let's do some more hunting. Same again, just some basics. Oh dear. Everyone failed their roll, unfortunately. Marshall is down to 11 hit points because the whale got an attack in on us. Dear oh flipping dear. Right, roll again. This time don't fail. Right. You've all failed, unfortunately. My actual attackers have failed, but Marshall is able to do something. So Marshall can protect himself. He's the injured one right now, so go on then. He's now immune to any damage. And Tusk Strike. Nice! Good. For some reason, that whale really doesn't like Marshall, so he's not taking damage right now. It's still windy. Keep rolling. Sooner or later, there we go. One of you's got a strike in. And that's going to be the whale dead. So we actually did some damage to us on that occasion. Day is ours. Water ceased churning. Diddly diddly dee. Get some more blubber and food. Lovely. So we've actually got plenty of food going on right now. Keep going, lads, and sing yourselves a nice song about old Bonnie May who lived out in California. Or whatever you want, really. But preferably the Bonnie May California thing. Oh, hang on. We've actually got a oh dear. See this? This is why you might have wanted a scientist, but I felt like a scientist was relatively low priority. While crossing a stormy area of the sea, lightning strikes your ship and hits your main mast. Your lookout falls out of the crow's nest. That's my repairman. He appears badly burnt. Right, I need a doctor here right now. Can't do that. I'll do my best to save him myself, so if John himself had some form of science trait, I'd be able to give that a go. Take him to the sick bay. I don't have one of them. So I guess we just have to... Oh... Basically, we're praying for him, which is 50% he dies or 50% he dies. Luckily, he hadn't really got much in the way of experience yet, but we've learnt a valuable lesson about maybe actually having a man who's like, you know, a scientist on the ship. Never mind. On the plus side, we don't have to pay him when we get back, so that's marvellous. And at this point, we are going extremely slowly through a bloody storm, so as a result, we are multiple days late there. Dear oh flipping dear. So, let's enter the harbour and sell our goods. So, blubber, we've managed to... Oh, we just sell it automatically. Well, that's bloody convenient. Yeah, we sell the blubber for a fair bit of money. My lay, I guess, like, share of the booty is $145. The crew gets 11. I'm running out of essential goods, and a new issue of the newspaper is available for some new bloody quests. Nice! So, let's get back in the shop, and first up, top up the supplies. So, we probably need... Yeah, water is cheap, so we should definitely have plenty of that, just in case we want to go on a longer trip. Now I've got a fully stocked up ship, and also a crew with a bit of experience. Speaking of which, yeah, I might just need, you know, just someone to come and join my ship, please. Right, Francis, what's your deal? You are funny. +5 morale to other crew members. Probably not a bad idea. And you, we simply don't know what you do. You know what, we're probably okay with... Ooh. Actually, Oh no, hang on. I was about to say I can't afford any of these guys. Yes, I can, because I picked up a whole bunch of prestige for doing quests. So now, if I wanted to, I could actually have a better person on board. And as we could actually hire a much better quality craftsman, he starts having some actual skills with him. So butcher, additional blubber extracted from whales, that's quite useful. And the try-work ship upgrade. Fine, that wasn't a mistranslation, that was actually a thing. So I think that was something to do with, yeah, converting blubber into oil or something. He seems like a good sort of guy to bring aboard. Unless, of course, this guy's got something good. Rebalance dice sides. Ooh. Reroll all dice. Okay, you know what? Let's focus on this guy, because we came back with a fairly empty hold last time. So additional blubber and the try works, whatever that is, that strikes me as quite useful. So I'm going to hire David, and that uses up all my prestige, and I'm already full up on slots. I could fire these guys, by the way, but that actually loses me prestige to do. So next, back to the newspaper. Irish Captain Edward Bransfield lands on the mainland of Terra Australis. This Australia thing will never work out. No, sorry, I need to actually turn that in. Lovely. So, complete that. Complete that. Beautiful. Do I actually have any new jobs showing up here? Ooh, maybe not. It said there was a new edition. But, well, technically there is a new edition of that, but... the jobs, however, nothing new. We might need to head out into the ocean to find our own fortune at a different port. We can't expect this place to keep regenerating new stuff forever. No, no, no. We're going to need to go to different ports to find new quests. And thanks to actually turning in my quest, I'm now actually in profit, $1,200. Marvellous. And as it's the 5th of February, we're still some time off that thing I actually started researching being done. Fine, so I'm guessing we need to let that finish and then actually come back for it afterwards. Fine. And sadly, even the cheapest alternative ship is still like $5,700. Technically, there is this one, but this one seems to be exactly the same as mine, so I wouldn't really see the point of that. And also, in order to actually recruit it, I would actually need to know something about, like, you know, surgery and also cookery, which right now I don't, unfortunately. And of course, now actually my food and water's going a lot less far because I actually just hired an extra crew member. So go on, I'm swimming in money right now. Let's actually get myself up to a decent amount of, 118, 134, 134. That'll do. Still plenty of space in the hold. Now I can go on a proper big journey. So prepare to sail away. So, where do I want to go? Because I've run into some whales around here, and I know there's some whales around there as well. I could make a trip way down here to South America, or I could go all the way down here to Cape Town. I feel like that's apparently quite a long way away, so maybe we don't actually go quite that far. That would be 39 days. I could go around to, I could go to Scotland. How about 14 days out here to Horta? Not visited, no discovered whaling activity, no dangers on the sea. Yeah, this seems nice and close by. Let's head out here, and then we'll check in with what's going on afterwards, because clearly there's a bit of a storm going on to the north, so let's basically naff off out of that storm. Are you actually driving, by the way? Good, you are! Also, I'm going to... and you know what, I'll keep you up top just in case, because I want to keep this guy safe. And there's my water supply starting to go down as we actually go along. Marvellous, so I can keep an eye on this over here. Nothing major so far. We're travelling with the wind. It says that up there. Yep, my ship sails windward. So we're approaching Horta, which is... What's Horta? It's not the Canary Islands. The Canary Islands would be over here, so I'm not really sure what this is. That like... And St. Helena's, like down... Yeah, that's St. Helena down there. Or is it St. Helena or St. Helena? I don't know how you pronounce that, because nobody lives there. Well, actually, okay, fine. A few people live there. Probably none of you live there. Aha. Intriguing. So the ship right here is worse than at Nantucket, as is the general store, but the pub is still actually pretty good. And if I wanted to, I could find a whole bunch of new people here. So if I'm looking for, like, elite crew, potentially, some of these guys might have rare, unique abilities I have not seen elsewhere. Very, very cool indeed. And I'm guessing, by the way, this is a Portuguese colony because, yeah, all the people here are Portuguese. So if someone did have something like the xenophobic trait, that's where that would start becoming relevant. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on the way you look at it and whether or not you're Portuguese, the guy who was xenophobic got struck by lightning and then fell to his death because we didn't bother to have a doctor on board. And we do indeed still have a new job going. Marvellous. To Peterhead. That's exactly where I was planning to go anyway. So, I need 25 spare capacity on my ship to actually take this. That's absolutely fine. I kept space just for this sort of thing. So I'll get money. I'll get loads of XP. Absolutely, I accept this job. Marvellous. And now, straight away, my hold has been updated to reflect the cargo I am now carrying. I've still got plenty of food, so no need to rush. And presumably this being a worse store, yes, water's now $3 a barrel rather than $2. So you want to shop at higher tier stores, because higher tier stores give you better prices. Lovely. Right, well, I think that's all we need to do here in that case, because I've got no crew to actually fill up. So let's actually head over to Scotland in order to deliver that cargo. And yes, indeed, the game's telling me which way I ought to go. So do that. 20 days, and we seem to be heading pretty much with the wind. Working shoulder by shoulder with one of your men, you come to appreciate his sailing experience so much you've unintentionally started to copy his movements. He boldly walks on the ship like he was on the mainland, as if the ship was not moving at all. And it's fine as long as I become a better captain. Ah. Okay. So I could indeed just start copying one of my sailors. 80% chance I get Old Sea Dog, which is good. 20% I get Seasick, which is bad. And I do indeed get Old Sea Dog. Nice. So hang on. Pause just a second here. Old Sea Dog is 50% hit point regeneration during navigation. Fine. So now when I'm actually sailing, if I've taken a knock during an actual fight, I actually get my hit points back faster. Beautiful. That's a useful thing to have. John's onto a good starting point here. And indeed it would appear, with the tides and the wind and whatever behind me, I'm actually making good time. I'm going to arrive ahead of what was originally predicted. Now watch out for those rocks there. They might just be like Scottish Islands and whatever, but they might be dangerous too. So like, you know, be flipping careful, alright? Hopefully there's no whales around. I don't think there's whales around here. I've reached my destination. Lovely. Unload the shipment. Marvellous. Easy money is the best money. I quite agree. Apparently we aren't... Did we just basically toss it at Peterhead? Because it feels like we weren't quite there. Maybe we were close enough. Someone, like, you know, came out in a rowing boat to collect it or something. So, into the harbour we go. It is apparently night right now. We've got nothing to sell, but we do have good money. And while this is a poor tavern, it is, however, an excellent shipwright, and apparently a good store as well. And there's a new copy of the newspaper. Maine is the 23rd state of the United States. It'll never last. So somebody wants some goods taken all the way to Honolulu. Okay, that's quite a long way away, but I could do that. It's easy money and easy XP. Reports indicate that the creature has attacked several ships in the last few weeks, becoming the most wanted prey of the bravest whalers. Close by, but until you're level 9, you're not allowed to accept it. So I cannot kill Benin Glen. You see, the problem is you're sending whalers, when as the picture clearly indicates, it's a giant octopus. Fine, you know what? We'll accept that job. We got the space. Admittedly, it's 120 days away, so I might want to slightly top up on supplies before we head out there. Yes, indeed I do. So as we rather expected, Honolulu is quite a long way away, and sadly the Panama Canal doesn't exist yet, so we're going the long way round. Right, well, nothing to visit en route unless we wanted to go all the way over here to Horta. But if we're going this way anyway, we may as well stop off in South America just to see if there's anything else floating around in the same direction. Sure, why not? While walking on your ship's deck, you gander at your helmsman. You notice that his hand is steadier than ever. You realise how much he's improving under your command. Okay, so I can ignore him, and he'll gain 250 XP, or I can praise him, he'll gain morale. No. Get back to your task, just let him just kind of improve steadily. No reason to interfere if he's getting good at his job. So he is basically just getting better and flipping better, though I seem to be going very slowly through the Irish Sea at the minute. What's the problem here exactly? My ship sails with no wind, ship speed minus 90%, so I am massively behind schedule right now. Looks like the wind's picked up a little bit. Marvellous. So we're now actually starting to speed up, but we are also heading into what appears to be a storm. So, okay, no, the storm has faded. Good, the storm faded before we got there. Now, slight issue, of course, is supplies are being eaten into for every day at sea. So if we're going to arrive, flipping 11 days late, 12 now, apparently we're going slowly again, because we're going against the predominant wind, so we're more likely to be running into the wind, so tacking around is a little bit on the slow side. We're just eating into flipping supplies here. Now, what's all this, by the way? Technology news. Ooh, the hold has been researched in Nantucket. Well, that's just marvellous, but I'm guessing I need to actually, like, you know, head over there first to actually pick up the new hold, I guess? Yes, upgrade ready. I literally need to go back and pick it up. Well, That's a bit out of my way at the minute, to be honest. I'd rather get on with just delivering this at Honolulu. Also, with a lot of water in the hold and a small crew, a few people have started to take larger water rations to keep themselves more hydrated during hot days. Oh. Okay. Random character will gain the lazy trait, or crew -2 morale. No, back to standard rationing, please. I don't want you eating through the water too quickly. I don't want you being lazy either. Sorry, sometimes a captain has to be a dick. And now with the wind behind us again, we're making much better progress. Lovely. While updating your log, one of your men knocks at your door. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Captain. I must ask you something of import. My only sister wrote to me saying she will marry soon. I would like to attend her wedding. Would you consider briefly visiting my hometown for the celebrations? Depends when and which hometown, to be honest. Okay, -5 morale, or... Okay, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a flipping go. So, he has a quest to complete. So, hang on. Over to here. Just stop off here for a second. Quest updated. Help Marshall with a personal issue. Where's the quest? Ah! Okay. We can go back to that on the way back to Nantucket, but we're delivering the goods to Honolulu first, right? So, I hope she's not, like, getting married tomorrow. And flipping finally, over 2 weeks late, we make it to South America. And despite being at sea for multiple weeks, we haven't managed to make a single penny so far. Marvellous. And sadly, this newspaper is a crappy newspaper. This is only a level 1 newspaper stand, so I can't even take on jobs here. And also, oh dear, there's literally no shipwright, and the bar and the general store are both level 1. So this is going to be a bit on the expensive side, but okay. You know what, I'll pay a little bit extra just for security. And they weren't kidding, this is a terrible bar. There's literally no one in it aside from level 0 cabin boys. Well, supplies topped up, head over to Honolulu. 76 days remaining, and once again we're sailing against the wind, so we're already behind schedule. Marvellous. And we just need to very carefully skirt round the edge of perilous waters and icebergs, and instead get into the relative safety of the Pacific and be on our way. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually change our direction over here because, yeah, right now there's no prevailing wind. But if I actually go over here, I will hit an area with a prevailing wind, which I do actually want to be in. I'd like to basically use the prevailing wind to my advantage. So now I'm going to go up this way, and I should be much more likely to actually have a prevailing wind to my advantage. And so it would appear to be. Marvellous. So you shouldn't just take the direct route. You should, if you can, stick close by to areas where there's a prevailing wind, because then you are much more likely to actually run into, yeah, efficient times. Good, we've already made up 2 days over how fast we'd be going normally. Better and flipping better. And the food stores are apparently starting to dwindle. No, excuse me. Do not actually flipping eat your shipmates' food. We're almost there and we've got plenty of flipping food. So, ooh. Sloppy to trait. Or has to stop. Yeah, sorry, no morale for you. Screw you. Don't steal, like, your friend's food or whatever. We're getting into port momentarily, so there can be bad events if supplies start getting a bit low. People start getting a bit nervy about that. Still, chill out. We got plenty of food remaining for the time being. We got 20 days worth of food and 20 days worth of water, and we're only 6 days out of port. Seriously, you guys are freaking out over nothing. And I've just realised as well, as the game was kind of blinking at me, Marshall has levelled up. He is now sailing faster, better and better, and I can even actually give him some skills now. So, Whalerman. Whalermen are brave sailors that use their steadfast grip on the helm of whaleboats. Okay, so better during a fight. Helmsman, better at dealing with, yeah, just being on the ship when you're on the campaign map. Or Harbour Master, better at dealing with, merchants and other crew members. Okay. That is of interest. I tell you what, I'll go for Helmsman right now. We'll give you Helmsman's ability. Good to see you levelling up. Marvellous. And just 2 days out, now going even a little bit faster. We have made it. Unload the shipment. Journal has been updated. And into port as well, because we need to buy some flipping supplies. And thankfully, Honolulu is indeed somewhat well developed already. Life is good. So to the newspaper, and conveniently, they want to actually deliver some stuff to Nantucket right flipping now. Marvellous. 50 barrels worth. But gets me XP and money. Yeah, go on then. Why not? And we do indeed need a flipping ton of extra water, though. Ooh. Okay, slight problem. Because of all the goods we want to take back to Nantucket, we're kind of lacking in supplies. We're kind of actually lacking in space on the ship for crucial supplies, so I can only actually carry 64 days worth of food and water, and less of that in wood. Right. Well, this could be a bit on the interesting side. And as I've got a good shipyard here, well, as my craftsman apparently has the, try-work skill, I can actually learn that immediately. So I now actually have try-work skill 1. That actually requires 0 days. So you just basically hand over the money as long as someone's got the skill, and you're sorted. Sadly, I don't actually have the captain's cabin skill yet. I assume I need to learn that. And no one has the caboose skill, so I can't just learn the first level of cookery either. But this is a first good step to actually buying a better ship. A brigantine over here. Because now I've got Triworks level 1, I'm already a third of the way to having the skills to actually buy a much bigger, better ship. Lovely. Now, I need to get back down, but unfortunately, the predominant winds are mainly going to be against me, and apparently I haven't figured out, like, the world's round yet or something. So, probably the best thing I can do would be make south for New Zealand, and then basically use the predominant winds along here to get underneath America, and then just potentially, have to go out a bit to sea and just, I might actually be better off going, like, over to here, and then being a little bit further off the coast, joining up to these winds, and then getting up to here. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Let's actually head down here. 29 days it's going to take me under normal conditions, but I may or may not get lucky in this regard. So let's just head south and see what we got going on here. If we're lucky, we'll just kind of make it there and about that. Then we can just spend a bit more money on a few more supplies and everything will be fine. So we've been very lucky here. We are approaching New Zealand right now and we're arriving 3 days ahead of schedule. Beautiful. And naturally, we're going to take this opportunity to top up food, water, wood, and a tiny bit more water. That feels like the most important thing. And the hold is back up to completely flipping brimming. On we go. So, now we simply head south for 7 days to this area, where apparently there are very strong predominant winds easterly, and then we can just join up with them, and everything will be good. 40 days, but with the winds where they are now, we should actually be, I'd say, let's just take this direction. Let's just stay where we know there's going to be prevailing winds. And that should be absolutely flipping perfect. We should make excellent time along this angle. Marshall's level 2, David slowly working his way up to level 5, Dewey level 1 but very close to level 2 at this point. Marvellous. Now, provisions running dangerously low. They are not running dangerously low. My nutrition apparently is suffering because of the monotony. Your diet lacks proper vitamins. Oh dear. 50% fine, 50% someone gets scurvy. We're fine for the moment. Okay. It's okay. It's fine. I know we're a little bit full up of stuff we're delivering to Nantucket. We're going home, lads, and we're going to visit Marshall's sister's wedding on the way. That'll be fun. Everyone likes Marshall's sister, right? Probably. Hopefully. Right. We've reached him massively ahead of schedule. So head down over here and then join up to this bit of sea. Yeah, this is all going beautifully, in fact. Right. Round here, and once again, 20 days away now. It's okay. We've got food and water for the time being. There she blows! We got a whale. Good. Let's go kill ourselves a whale, because that should lead to my whaler leveling up. And go on, as David has actually got a fair bit more health, let's just see what he can do if he's involved in a fight. Because he's got himself, one crappy die, but one good die for smooth rowing. So go on then, let's actually just kind of continue. Do some, we've got a sperm whale. It's got 8 hit points. Right, this might be a bit more. Oh, blimey. Deep waters, mirage. Random crew member is stunned. Oh, dear. So, David's not doing anything this round. Hopefully one of you's... Well, this is going to hurt then. And it's going to hurt David. Fine, and he's overboard. Marvellous. So, we need to actually go and help him out, potentially. I've turned John over to this dice because I'm kind of hoping that his sailing abilities might let him actually get David back aboard. Or hopefully David maybe he'll just kind of, swim aboard by himself. Like, because he knows how to swim. That feels like a good thing for a sailor to do, right? Okay. I've got nothing I can do because I probably don't want to strike David. So I just have to basically launch an attack at the sperm whale. So, attack him. He's almost dead at this point. That guy's going for David. He's still overboard. And fortunately, there's been a distant call which has actually confused the whale. So we're okay for the time being. I just need this fight to end right now. You know what, screw it. Just kill the whale and hopefully David will auto-recover. So he's dead. And they all turned Finn up. Marvellous, I guess. And David isn't dead. Good, he's just a bit injured. And Dewey does indeed level up from that. I get myself... Oh, blimey. Oh, there's so much blubber. And actually a bit of food. I'll tell you what, I'll take a tiny bit of food, but I'll mainly take the blubber. I wish there was more blubber. I could take so much more blubber if I had the space for it. Boo. You know what? I'll leave the food behind and take the extra blubber. Because I can use the blubber to buy more food, I think. Wait, hang on. What's the value of food versus the value of blubber? I think blubber's more valuable, right? Hopefully, anyway. Now, as we carry on in that direction, Dewey has leveled up. So, make him a better harpooner, make him better at fighting if there's like pirates or whatever, or survivor. Okay, versatile hunters, surviving better. Let's get better harpooning going on here, marvellous. And once again, people are stealing each other's food. That has to stop, please. Marshall apparently has low morale right now. He also has the Wind Rider skill for plus 10% navigation speed, so we are making good progress here. Now, I think we basically need to make for... Yeah, we just need to make for that place, even if it's kind of going against the wind, unfortunately. We just have to head in that direction now, because I need to sell that blubber and buy some new supplies with it. And I think we might possibly be actually going straight past the Falkland Islands while we're passing by too. Lovely. And the game's flashing up an alert. We're almost out of grog, which would cause morale problems for the crew, but... we're pretty much into port. Lovely. Enter the harbour. We can actually do some selling here. This is all fine. Admittedly, because the shop's low level, it's going to cost us a fair bit to resupply, but screw it. We just need enough to actually, like, you know, survive and not die and stuff. Yeah, I'd rather not buy more here than I have to, just because, yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, you know what? That's probably enough. We've got over a month's worth of provisions there. That'll be good enough for the time being. Let's get over to Mitchell's wedding. We can all eat, drink, and be merry there. It'll be great. Sorry, Marshall, not Mitchell. Now, how long is that going to take to get to? Oh, about 36 days. Okay, this is a little bit of a risk, but it'll be fine. As long as we get lucky with the wind, we'll be fine. There's not a port there, is there? Oh, I'm going to regret what I've just done. Okay, we're getting into emergency provision times at this point. I can dilute the water with rum, swapping out... I do have enough water for now, but it's not going to last that long. Or, potentially, or if I had the right skill, I could actually make some more booze. Or I will cease drinking grog so my crew can have more. Yes, that's what I'll do. I will be nice. Admittedly, now I'm teetotal. That feels potentially bad. Oh no. It's fine. 100% down grog consumption. Marvellous, that'll do. Doesn't seem to be any negative trait to that whatsoever. I am, however, beginning to think possibly the most sensible thing to do would actually be to head to Nantucket first. Yes. Not least as there are actually good, convenient winds right here. We'll get back to Nantucket, we'll sell all the stuff and hand over all the cargo, we'll top up on loads of supplies, and then we'll go to Marshall's wedding. Oh dear. I think we've got another lightning strike and we still don't have a flipping doctor. Who is it this time? Oh, it's... Oh, not Dewey, just leveled up as well. Well, he's dead then. Yeah, I should probably... Oh, no. No, apparently not. He's just maimed. Oh, that's good. Well, it's not good, but it's better than being dead. Right, what's maimed then? Working attribute reduced by 2. So he's going to be less good at his job. Well, okay, but on the plus side, in the event that there's some form of mutiny against me, which does seem very likely because we've been really screwed over by the winds on this occasion, we're 9 days late already and the food's about to run out, as is the water, because we're just stuck with no flipping convenient wind. Oh, finally! Bloody finally! Yeah, we're already a day late and we're not even halfway bloody there yet. And we're back with no wind. Right, of course, this is the exact moment for everything to be becalmed. Right, get over there. Right, served our last meal. Food reserves down. I may have made a mistake here. Ooh. Right. Either I just try and fish. 5% chance of getting some food. 95% starvation chance. I don't have blubber to eat, though I could have given it a go. Hold on and pray to the Lord. Apparently the Lord has a 10% chance of actually giving us food and a 90% chance of ignoring us, so maybe we should have been better people. And it is time for the supreme sacrifice. All characters gain the cannibal trait. Great. Let's try and go fishing. No, fishing was a disaster. We're doomed. Great. And we're miles away from anything. Try purifying some seawater. Let's just try doing that. Actually, let's try doing the Lord this time. God has abandoned us. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, I've been screwed over by the wind. I've been 100% screwed over by the wind. I'm so close. I'm so close to actually getting some... Okay, here we go. I'm feeling dizzy and weak. You thought that I can try to call someone, but everything around you is pitch black. Captain John, game over. Oh. Oh, dear. I will rest here for a while. I probably shouldn't have set out from port without spare water and food. That's probably important. Sacred to the memory of Captain John the Unready. Oh. Though apparently the rest of my crew erected the stone, so that means at least one of them made it back to Nantucket, and probably were very rich, because the ship was actually full of supplies ready to be delivered, so well done to those guys. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the point. This here is Nantucket. It is indeed just Moby Dick, the turn-based strategy game. I've had a bit of fun with this one. I like the kind of the predominant winds thing. So you don't just basically go directly from point A to point B. It's much better to kind of tack slightly out of your way in order to get to an area where you know there's very likely to be very convenient wind. And the inconsistent wind makes it so you actually have to have, like, you know, spare supplies in case you run into trouble. It would have been nice to get a tiny bit further in, because we only had one actual tough fight at the end there. But obviously, I suspect Moby Dick himself is going to be a little bit tough. And as I understand from just quickly looking over some option menus, it appears your captain needs to get up to a high level. I think it might be 10 or something, before any other captains start telling you rumours about Moby Dick, who you need to hunt down and get revenge upon. So there's plenty of stuff to be delivered, and whatever, if this is your sort of thing. Yeah, you know what? If you like strategy games, this might be for you. Now, this is supposed to come out tomorrow, and I say supposed to, because at the time I'm recording this, the day I'm planning to put this out is a day before the day it's supposed to come out. But I might change the day I put this out, or the dev might change the day release. It's supposed to be coming out imminently anyway. Link in the description below. I've had a fun time with it. It seems pretty decent. So might be one to keep an eye on if you are indeed a strategy game fan. And who knows, maybe we'll see it again in the future when it's a little bit further along. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been Nantucket. Thank you very much, and goodbye. This is the face of death, okay? This is what my sudden death looks like. Do not engage before we arrive. Do not engage. What are you doing? I specifically said don't. Oh, no.
No, John.
Oh, he likes that. The Romans touched me.